Jesus El Cristo. What's going on, everybody? This your boy, Dr. Will Rogers, a.k.a. Master Teacher 33, and today is Wednesday, July the 20th of 2022, and the time is 8:30 Central Time. As always, my brothers, as always, my beautiful, educated, God-fearing sisters, we got a powerful message scheduled for you today. We want to jump right in talking about consent to be true. Today's message, is about the concept of what we call reality. And this construct, I just finished eating a bunch of just did my workout and ate a bunch of watermelon, so please pardon me if you hear any rumbling in the tumblings. It's just water. So we're going to talk about changing your concept of self. Like the last few messages, we're preparing the soil for the alpha male and the divine feminine female as we assist you with understanding your concept of reality. Now, tonight's message breaks down and gets into how the brain uses, or how the mind uses the brain to establish a construct or a concept of self. So that way that your entire perception of reality is based upon that concept of self. And tonight what we're looking at and talking about is, it is only by changing this concept, which is this consciousness, that we are actually changing our construct or our ability to interpret ourselves. So this is how you are able to manifest higher and higher levels of consciousness. So by manifesting, what we're talking about is actually experiencing the results of these different concepts. So the most important thing is to understand what that means when we talk about changing levels. Kind of like what I was talking about inside of the movie Free Guy, and the girl of his dreams told him to come back after you level up to more than 100 points. So Free Guy could not get the goal, until he leveled up. And the way that he leveled up is he had to go through problems, tests, challenges, obstacles. Whenever you ask for something, the universe doesn't send you the result. The universe sends you the problem. Now, I need you to understand that concept, because that's the whole message of tonight's message. And that is, we have a erroneous concept of reality. What I mean that, what I'm saying is that just like when King Solomon asked God for wisdom, he sent him a problem. And so it is these problems, these tests, these challenges, these obstacles, that is God or the universe sending you what you need in order for you to be the person that you need to be before you receive the gift or the destiny or the diakonia that you are asking for. So you are actually receiving everything that you need, but it's in the form of a problem. And most people, when we receive the problem, we quit because we don't know that the problem contains the product. And then a lot of times we don't know that the product contains the profit. And then we don't know that the profit contains the prosperity. And we don't know that the prosperity contains the peace. And it's because we don't really understand the manifestation process of consent. So when you change your consent, you have to give consent for anything to be true. Now, I don't, know if you, that's tough for me, because truth is it is true or it's not true. But I didn't know that my brain, based upon my mind, determines what is true. It was really weird when I really came into the understanding of the neuroscience, the biology behind how the brain interprets signals Not reality, but electrical signals. So everybody receiving the same electrical signals when they look at a tree. But the brain, the way that your brain interprets the electrical signals and the way that my brain interprets the electrical signals is different. So there's one signal, but many interpretations. Let me say it again. There is one signal, but there's many interpretations. Let me say that again. There is one electrical magnetic signal, but there is billions of interpretations of that one electrical magnetic signal. Let me say it again. There is one electrical magnetic signal, but there are many brains that interpret that one signal differently based upon their experience, based upon their knowledge, based upon the pair that rented them or their parents. Let me say it again. You must be before you can get. And it's amazing because every time I do this to myself, and then when the problems show up, I ask myself, self, why do we change goals? Why do we change mansions? It's just like right now, I told you guys this morning, 2 days before closing, the bank calls Mr. Rogers. You proved to us 6 months ago that you had a business and you had money coming in. You proved to us 90 days ago that you had a business and you had money coming in. But we need you to prove to us today you have a business and you have money coming in. Mr. Rogers, you proved to us 6 months ago that you was married. You proved to us 90 days ago that you was married. But we need you to prove to us today that you and your wife are still married. You gave us a marriage certificate from the state of Texas, but that's not good enough. You provided us with a bank account and bank statements with income showing money coming into multiple bank accounts, online deposits made from clients, but that's not good enough. So because I understand spiritual warfare and spiritual engineering, I know it was not the individual, so I said thank you very, very much, but I will not be able to do that. I'll take my business somewhere else. Click. So he called the wife, and the wife was going back and forth, and she said, babe, come on, we close on Friday, 10 a.m., we don't have time. So I said, okay, I screenshotted the stuff, I sent it to him and said, Mr. Rogers, we're sorry, but the underwriter would not accept that. We needed a PDF, or we need a document certified and signed by the bank, a bank officer. I said, I'm not doing that. Click. He called the wife back, and then the wife was going to wife, but I don't know what he told her, but she clicked, she hung up on his ass too. So we decided that, you know what, shit, we're going to go to the other guy that we was working with before this guy. 5 minutes later, he called back and said, Rogers, just sent us a PDF document showing that you got an account in your business name. Okay, I just downloaded the PayPal document and sent it to him. Oh, thank you so much, Mr. Rogers. We will go ahead and proceed. Then this afternoon, we're supposed to close Friday at 10. The builder calls and said, oh, Mr. Rogers, the thermostat system that you guys upgraded to, you upgraded the doorknob with a fancy telephone, the camera so you can see people at the door. You can program your lights anywhere in the country with your cell phone. Well, that program has not come in yet, so we won't be able to close on Friday. Possibly we could close on Monday or Tuesday. Unless you guys just want to close without it, and then we just add it in whenever it comes in. What is the point? The point is, you have a concept of reality that is based upon yourself, and yourself, that's your definition of truth, and that creates your definition of reality. Every time you change your concept of self, you change your definition of truth, and you change your reality. Now, nobody knows that from the perspective of manifesting. We just go through, if I change my belief system, for example, if I decide that I want to lose weight, I'm changing my belief. Because I'm telling myself I don't want to weigh when I started doing this, I was at 280, 285. Now I'm at about 250. And so about two weeks. So today I'm in the detox stage after we did the meat only stage. they too of just watermelon. So I couldn't find no seeded watermelon, so I had to go with the wheat stuff. So it's not as powerful and it's not as good, but it's still, they get the job done. Plus I got mangoes, and then I got whole organic peaches picked from a local farm and stuff like that to go along with it. Since I changed my concept of myself, I changed my definition of what I believe is true. So I believe that weighing 280 pounds is no longer my truth. My truth is now, 30 pounds less. So now my reality changes to match my truth. But my truth changed to match myself. So my self-concept, my concept of self determines everything. So let me say this again. Problems are it's God's way of telling you, I want you to be who you want to be. You said you want to be slimmer, so I'm going to send you a problem. What's the problem? I'm used to eating donuts, going out to eat every day, whatever. Well, when you go through detox, you have a headache, because you detox because remember, there's no sugar, no carbs. So meat doesn't count as a food. So meat is a program. It's not a source of fuel. So last week, man, I was walking around here like now I didn't tell nobody. I was sweating. I almost passed out. I felt lightheaded. Yeah, but no, I've done this, 30, 40, 50 times. So I'm used to it. But the weakness, when I go, like, I can go to the gym, I can throw out 100, 150 pounds, 200, like it is, like it's nothing. But doing that last week, 20 pounds was heavy. Because why? I have no fuel. So my body is forced to burn fat. That's the whole purpose of doing it, though. But is that comfortable? No. That's a test. That's a problem. That's a challenge. That's an obstacle. So let me make sure you understand. Because this is, this could be one of those short messages tonight. Because you don't attract what you want. You attract what you are. But that's not the issue. The issue is you got a concept. Now, we defined the word concept many times before. So we know that the word concept is nothing but an ideal that is mentally formed. The word concept, it means something that is intuitively conceived. Now, the word conceived means something that is formed, but it's based upon an opinion that you think that leads to a belief that you hold. So again, it is an opinion. Nobody said nothing about true or false. It's an opinion that you form and hold. It's an opinion that you form and hold. It's an opinion that you form and hold. It's an opinion. Nobody said nothing about truth. It's an opinion. What is a religion? It's an opinion. But what do you do with it? You form it. Then what do you do with it? You hold it. Is it true? It might be true. It might not be true. But you investigate it. So the whole universe is an opinion that a bunch of people formed. And they hold. So these opinions that you form, that you hold, they create something called a construct. So it is only this construct, this changing of your construct or your concept. So by actually changing your concept of yourself, you actually change the manifestation of the self. And when you change the manifestation, excuse me, when you exchange, look at my water, when you change, I should say, excuse me, when you change how you see yourself, the world changes how it sees you. So manifesting is experiencing a different concept of yourself. Now, once we understand that consciousness is the only one reality, but consciousness is what we call electricity and magnetism. It is one frequency, but it is perceived in many different realities. I perceive it one way, you perceive it another way, but it's still one. But our brains interpret it in a different way. So once we understand that your consent makes it true, not whether it is true or not. What if I do not give my consent to search my vehicle? If you get stopped by a cop, you should never give your consent, even if you ain't got nothing to hide, because they're going to plant something. So you say no. That way, when they do, they're going to search you anyway, but that's not admissible in court because you didn't give consent. You just got to get you a good lawyer. So once you consent, the word consent means to permit. The word consent means to approve. The word consent means to agree. And it says again, you consent to, what is your belief? All white people listen to country and Western music. You consent. That means you agree. So therefore, the universe will only bring to you white people who listen to country and Western music. If you consent to not having no money in the bank because you went to the bank and you really don't have no money in there, but it's still, for it to be true to you, you got to consent. So I don't consent to not having money in the bank. I do not consent. So since I don't consent, that means that I'm changing my concept of reality because I got a different concept of what money in the bank is. So I got to get a different concept of truth because money to me is a mental disposition. It's not paper in the bank. So I always have money because I always got a mental disposition that's based upon what? My concept of self. So concept of self creates your concept of truth. And your concept of truth creates your concept of reality. So your reality is based upon your truth. And your truth is based upon how you see yourself. So you don't attract what you want. You attract what you are. You don't get what you want. You get what you are. So in your brain, you believe that you are poor, so you get poor. In your brain, you believe that you are sick, so you get sick. In your brain, you believe that you are broke, so you get broke. In your brain, you believe that you are old, so you get old. In your brain, you believe that you are blank. Whatever you believe, it is done unto you as you believe. So your opinion that you form and hold creates your reality. Now, I need you to understand something because this is the dangerous, all of these teachings for the last week, man. Because I'm kind of glad it's been kind of like a smaller crowd, because these are some deep concepts. See, there is something that you got to realize, with your real eyes, and that is that you need to be the person before the substance. You need to be the vibrational equivalent of $1 million before the $1 million shows up. So how does God make you a millionaire before you get your $1 million? He sends you problems, tests, challenges, and obstacles. If there's anybody listening to the sound of my voice right now and you're going through any problem, any test, any challenges, or any obstacles, you should be happy. You should be shouting. This is the time you want to turn over chairs. This is the time that you can tell the choir to look there to cue the music. Because the universe sends you through the experience of something before it ever gives you the money or something. So you must understand that, because what happens when you go through problems, you think that you're doing something wrong. You don't know you're doing something right. Problems are indications that you are leveling up. Remember the movie Free Guy? He goes to the girl of his dreams. She shows him her level. She was at like 170 something on the game. He was at level 1. She tells him, when you get to level 100, call me. He asks, how do I level up? She says to him, you have to accumulate stuff. How do you accumulate stuff? In the game, you solve problems. You help people. You be the good guy. So the blue shirt guy went out and did good deeds to accumulate points so he could level up, ascend what y'all call get saved. So you're in a video game and there's killing and robbing and stealing going on, and your job is to do good. Do golden rule, golden ratio. Do unto others as you would have them do unto you. What happens when you do that? You level up. So problems exist because you ask for it. Anytime you pray for something, you're asking for problems. And make sure you never do this. Never disrespect God by telling God what you want. Always tell God who you are. When you say an I am statement, this will change your life. This will change your life. You can wrap your brain around it. When you say or make an I am statement, what you're doing is you're acknowledging source. You are acknowledging that the universe is an abundant universe. And when you say I am, you are activating your God chakra. You are activating the power of generating, operating, and directing. And so what that does is that creates clarity. That activates the awakened state. That puts you into a mental disposition of wealth, health, wisdom, and great relationships. See, Ephesians chapter 5, verse 13 in the New Living Translation says, all things, when they are admitted, are made manifest by the light. I got to say that again really slow so you can understand the power of a concept, seeing yourself as God. Now remember, this is why I be talking about this almost every day, because this is the hardest thing on earth to do. It's very seldom do I meet somebody who really understands what I call the God complex. That's why we're doing the God code, the God kind. Now we're going to do the alpha male, God is female boot camp, because you are a Ephesians 5, 12, 13, 14, 15. You are an individual expression of God. What does that mean? Ephesians 5, let's go up one. Ephesians 5, 12. For it is shameful even to mention what the disobedient do in secret. Verse 13. But everything exposed by the light becomes visible. For everything that is illuminated becomes a light itself. For everything that is illuminated becomes a light itself. For everything that is illuminated becomes a light itself. Verse 14. So it is said, wake up, O sleeper, rise up from the dead, and Christ will shine on you. That's the King James. But in the New Living Translation, verse 13 says, but their evil intent will be exposed when the light shines on them. The New International Version said, but everything exposed by light becomes visible, and everything that is illuminated becomes light. So when you become illuminated, bam, you become light. And when you shine light on yourself, the self becomes light. Light always represents knowledge or gnosis. So once again, my brothers, once again, my beautiful, educated sisters, tonight's message is a very profound message. It's a very simple message, but it's a very profound message. And that is, all concepts are based upon your consent. You can't have a concept without having consent. That means you must give your belief system your approval to reside in your head. Nothing can reside in your head without you agreeing, complying, and yielding. Now, you may have been manipulated. You may have been conned, and I'm going to put $100,000 on the fact you've been tricked. But it's still, nobody can disrespect you unless you let them. Nobody. I've been saying this. I remember, I talk to people all the time that still in relationships, and the guy cheated, he gets, and the woman is pissed off, and they're like, well, shit, you let him do it. You empower him. Ooh-wee. Ladies, y'all don't like to hear that, right? Most ladies are enablers in a bad relationship. You know the guy, you know he's cheating before he knows he's cheating. Every time I ever did anything wrong, in every relationship I've been in, the wife, like, currently, my wife had a dream. She said, I had a dream that you was out and you was doing this and doing that. And exactly what the dream that she had, that's exactly what I was doing. But I said, nah, shit. That was just a whack-ass dream, girl. That's crazy. Let's go out and grab some meat. Okay. Every woman I've ever talked to, whatever dirt I was doing, they knew it. But they didn't believe it. I've never met a woman that did not know what their man was doing before the man was even freaking doing it. Ladies are light years ahead of most men. But men, we got reason and logic. So we know we can con our way back in. We got to do a smooth talk, y'all, get out some flowers, and, I apologize, honey, I won't do it again. It's okay. But you know vibrationally that, guess what? His concept and your concept are not the same. But you got a nice car, you got fancy clothes, whatever you like. Let me make sure you understand, brothers and sisters, you don't attract what you want, you attract what you are. So I want to ask you again tonight, who are you? Remember, there's only two things to be successful in life. You got to know who you are in crystal clear clarity. You got to know, what does that feel to be that person? If I ask you, who are you? You say, I'm a millionaire in divine health that is very knowledgeable in wisdom, and I'm able to relate with people from all cultures and backgrounds. I'm in a great relationship with myself, with my God, my significant other, my monkey, my dog, and my squirrel. I am wealthy, healthy, wise, and I get my toes curled every day. Money flows to me easily and effortlessly in all directions, in all ways. But then I'm going to ask you, well, what's that feel like? You'll say, man, it feels great. I feel valued. I feel admired. I feel respected. I feel like a rock star. I feel like I have status. When I walk in and drive into Walmart, nobody knows me, but I feel like they do. So I carry myself with that feeling. And it is that feeling. If you are able to take the image, the concept of the future self and bring it tonight, if you could embody that image tonight, and if you could feel what it would feel like to be wealthy, healthy, wise, and in a great relationship, if you could honestly see it and feel it, you're going to have a bunch of problems. Because those problems is God's way of preparing you for your future self. Let me say this again as we close. Your problems are God's way of preparing you for your future self. Let me say it again. You have problems. If you have a test, if you're going through challenges, if you're going through obstacles, it's because you said in your prayer time, in your heart, in your closet, you asked, and God heard your cry. He's answering your prayer by preparing you to be a millionaire, so that way when you get the $1 million, it doesn't overwhelm you and it doesn't destroy you. So what God is doing is He's putting you in a state of consciousness so that the individual and the prayer are the same vibration. See, it is only by a change of consciousness that you are actually able to change and match the new concept of yourself. That is the only way for you to build a new reality. So manifesting on a higher and higher level is nothing but experiencing the picture and the feeling of the new self. And once you feel it and you buy it and you believe it, bam, That's when God allows the problems to come. Your problems are nothing but preparation for your new reality. Problems are products and profit in disguise. All problems, so do not run from your problems. Embrace your problems. Solve your problems. Work through your problems. That is proof that you're ready for your new concept and your new reality. Your new reality will not come if you keep running from your problems. So when you face your darkest self, you will expose your brightest light. So my brothers and my sisters, establish your opinion, the highest version of yourself. Establish your opinion. Form an image in your brain and hold, and having done all, hold, stand. Opinion, form, hold. Opinion, create an image, feel the feeling. Form that new image of yourself in your brain, of an image where you are wealthy, an image that you are healthy, an image that you are wise, an image that you're in a great relationship, and then hold that image despite all of the problems, the tests, the challenges, the obstacles that the universe is sending you to test you to see if you really want and believe what you say you want. If you say you want it, you will figure out a way to get it. Because guess what? It already exists. All you got to do is align your mind with your God-given desire. Brothers and sisters, this is your boy, Dr. Will Rogers, a.k.a. Master Teacher 33. As always, I love you. I appreciate you. There ain't nothing you can do about it. We're going to see y'all at the top. God bless.